What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our best beginner's guide for the brand new mobile game global launch of Devil May Cry Peak of Combat. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. So I got a bunch of things that I want to go over for new players, and I know the number one thing, first thing we're going to go over is we're going to head to the summoning area, and that's going to be the gacha system, because I already got people asking me about this. That is exclusive for brand new players, and that's going to be the one that I suggest first, and that's going to be the new player summon. Go ahead, summon from that banner first, so that way you can go ahead and get your guaranteed character. Then after you do that, then go and start summoning from either one of these two exclusives. All right, so for global launch, we're going to have two limited banners, and that is going to be for the Royal Guard Dante, and the other one is going to be Endless Judgment Vergil. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is summon for whatever hero is your favorite. Have fun with the game. That's always the most important thing. Aside from that, though, you really can't go completely wrong with either of them, and that is because they both are physical damage dealers. Now, as a new player, building out a physical damage team first is going to be extremely important. I'll go a lot more in depth with that in my next video. The next major difference between these two is going to be that Dante is going to be a little bit more tankier. You'll see that he has sustain trait, which means he's great at taking damage and withstanding attacks. So he's a bit of a bruiser style play, whereas Vergil is more offensive and he does a lot of damage. The other big difference is Vergil specializes in the bleed effect, which can be very devastating to enemies, specifically bosses as well. Whereas Dante has stuff like hard hitter, so he can go ahead and he can break damage reducing shields at great efficiency. He also has a block AoE with his special Thomas maneuver ability, and he also has the devil trigger. So if we just take a look quickly, you'll see that Dante has a lot more traits. Right under Dante's name, you see all these little different emblems. Those are kind of like the traits. And then if we take a look at Vergil's, he only has 5 different traits. And if we click right here, we have rapid. So he can break shields very fast, those hit shields, through Judgment Cut and Storm Swords and Spiral Swords. And he also has a Trick Up. Skills can instantly shorten the distance, so he can move around the map a lot faster to get to those enemies. So my personal suggestion is going to be to summon for Vergil. However, I do like Dante's ability to break the damage reduction shield. So if that's something that you really are suffering for and you don't have any other characters that have that ability, then I would go with Dante. But overall, Vergil is just a stronger damage dealer. I think Vergil is a lot easier to play. You also have Hunter Trials in the top right corner. So if you click on where it says Hunter Trial, you can go ahead and you can try the character out, which I really recommend. That way you can just kind of get a feel for each character and how they play. You're also going to get 50 of the premium currency as well, which is the gems. So right off the bat, just for trying both characters, you're going to get 100 free gems. All right, aside from that, as a new player, the number one most important thing is going to be getting through the campaign, the main story quests. You're going to get a ton of free rewards. You can see that we're getting a bunch of different things like premium currency, gems. We're going to get some experience materials to help us level up our characters, as well as things like special vault breakers, which is just going to help us summon for additional characters or weapons. But more importantly, once we complete those campaign chapters, we're going to get these fragments for a specific hero. Now, this is an amazing hero that I highly suggest you invest in. Everyone gets her for completely free, and she is very strong. She can actually carry you a very long way. This one right here, we get the Swift Arsenal, and this is Lady. As a new player, building out a physical damage team is going to help you out very early game. So investing in Swift Arsenal along with the Demon Hunter Dante, these are like your two main starters. Definitely invest in them. They're worth building out and spending your resources on. One other thing that I want to mention while we're here, and that is going to be our weapons. But you're going to get to certain increments where you upgrade your weapon, and then you won't be able to upgrade it anymore until you spend Crimson Scales. Crimson Scales are very valuable. I would say it's one of the most important materials in this game, and you don't want to waste your Crimson Scales awakening or level limit breaking really bad gear. If it's a blue rare weapon, then I really wouldn't max it out. I say that because you can burn through your Crimson Scales very fast, because you're going to need them constantly constantly to go ahead and do level limit breaks and awakenings and things like that to just power up your heroes. Let's head over to events next. And events are so important because they are very, very limited. The resource runs, you can only do a daily attempt once per day. And because of that, you kind of have to start at the bottom. So everyone has to start at difficulty 1 for day 1, and then you'll be able to do difficulty 2 on your second day. So the most important thing is, if you have a limited time to play, never miss out on doing your resource runs daily, because otherwise it can really set you back. You just want to always try and get to the highest difficulty as possible. The perfect timing one will go ahead and give you XP potions, elixirs is what they call it. The Vine of Greed is going to give you the red orbs. Red orbs are extremely important. They pretty much are used for almost everything in the game. You're gonna seem like you have a lot of them at times. I'm talking, you might have like hundreds and thousands of them, but once you start awakening your heroes and like ranking them up and stuff, it really gets expensive. So red orbs are gonna be a constant, endless grind. Don't overlook those. Now the red orbs you can also find just out in the wilderness when you're just kind of going through your campaign story missions. Do a little exploring and you can find red orbs hidden around the map, but you're also going to find these little like red orb rocks, and as you go ahead and continuously attack them, it'll just start spitting out red orbs like crazy, and you can go ahead and just collect a bunch of them. Airborne challenge is a really fun one, and it's easy with that starting character lady that everyone has, because she excels at jumping in the air and then constantly shooting her guns off at enemies. I'm going to give you the gems that you need for weapon XP, so you just use these gems to upgrade your weapons. And then the final one is the Skyfall, and the Skyfall by far is the most important because that gives you the crimson scales. So we do have this weapon selection gacha that you can go ahead and summon for weapons. I wouldn't use my materials on this. I would stick to just summoning for characters, and that is because if we head on over to missions and we go to where it says challenge, co-op mode is by far the best way to go ahead and get weapons for your characters. We click on challenge. You'll see that for normal, we have a weekly attempt of 1, and then our raid, we have a weekly attempt of 3. This is gonna get you high rarity gear, and it's guaranteed. It's not on that gacha system where you could get like blue rares and waste a lot of your premium currencies. So if we take a look, it says ultimate rewards, clear 5 stages. We're going ahead and we're getting a weapon selection chest, which is by far way better than just gambling in the gacha system, because this lets us choose which kind of epic weapon we want. Depending on which heroes we have, we can kind of mix and match this so that we have a proper weapon for one of our stronger heroes. Next is going to be the Slot of Slaughter. Now it does cost stamina, which is very important, and we're going to talk about stamina next. More importantly, the higher your account level, the better your rewards will be for this Slot of Slaughter. So early on, when you're only like level 10, you don't need to do this like a crazy amount of time. In fact, I would say almost like what I've noticed is the demon cards, the lower rarity demon cards, they don't play like a huge factor. However, those higher rarity cards do. So you really don't have access to those higher rarity cards until you level up your account a lot more. Once you start to get to like a level 30 account, you'll see we can then start to get advanced cards. And then once we get to like level 70, level 60, 50, that's when we really get access to a lot of the better demon cards. So early on, I would say do it a little bit, but don't overspend on your stamina for the Slot of Slaughter. Level 10 doesn't really give the best cards. Really wait until you at least hit like 40, 50. That's when it starts to get a lot better. Next, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about stamina. Now, you can purchase stamina with your premium currency gems 3 times per day. However, it gets extremely expensive fast. The first purchase is gonna cost you 100 gems for 60 stamina. The second purchase, however, it is then doubled. So it then costs you 200 gems to get 60 stamina. And then finally, the third purchase for the day, it's gonna cost you 400 gems for 60 stamina. So it kind of doubles, and it's really not worth it in my opinion. The first one is worth it. So 100 gems for 60 stamina is pretty decent, it's not bad. Even the second one, 200 gems for 60 stamina, isn't bad either. But the third one, 400 gems, I definitely say pass, especially if you're free to play. You really don't want to be wasting 400 gems just for 60 stamina. Only stick to that first purchase, possibly that second purchase, depending on your play style, depending on how many gems you have saved up. Next thing is make sure you get in a very active guild, because you can get some really strong bonuses from just being in a guild. You'll see I'm in one right now, and our guild level is 3, and we're getting a bunch of team bonuses. We're getting an extra 20% to our damage, and our damage resistance is plus 18%. So just being in an active guild, you're getting free buffs to your characters. We're also going to be having the launch celebration for all brand new players. Each day for 7 days in total, we'll unlock new missions for you to do. And you just want to make sure you go ahead and complete these. You're going to get a ton of free rewards from doing this. Specifically, once you reach that 560 mark, you're getting 10 weapon vault breaker tickets. So you can go ahead and summon for a weapon. This is okay to do, but using your premium currency for weaponing summoning is what I say stay away from. And then at the 500 mark, you'll see we're going to get a card selection chest for legendary. So we're going to get some demon cards, legendary, 2 of them for absolutely free for just completing this launch celebration. So again, there's really no need to waste too much stamina early on the slot of slaughter, because you'll see if we just complete these missions, which they're all fairly easy to just go ahead. A lot of them are complete main chapter quests, logins and stuff like that. We're going to get 2 free legendaries right off the bat for our demon card. That's it for right now. A lot more videos to come on different things. Stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.